Hello and welcome to Messages from the Angels TV show and podcast, the show that will help you connect to your angels and your innermost self-love. I'm your host, Judy Jewett. Like we do every Friday, my co-host, Catherine Lanigan, is here. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Judy. How are you today?
I am fantastic. Tell us about
I
your 60 books.
yeah, my 60 books, I did not write them all in one week. I got to tell everybody. This is my 45th year of being published, traditionally published, and I do have 60 books out there but I'm also the author of 5 of those are angel books. They're all about messages from the angels. This one is called Angel Timelines. It is now available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and it's also available in audio, which is this is my new thing this year is my audiobooks are at sounded.com, and there are 57 of my books, and there's a whole section. You just go to sounded.com and you go down and all the angel books are listed together. So there are 5. And then I'm going to plug it, is my Magical Midnight book, which is a Christmas book since we're heading into the Thanksgiving Christmas season. And it is about an angel who comes to Earth at Christmas time to bring an estranged father and son together before midnight on Christmas Eve.
It's my
So
favorite book,
I know it
besides
really
the
is,
other one I read.
and it just won 2 national awards. So what I
Wow.
say to everybody is, don't take my word for it. I got 5-star reviews from and your review, and so, obviously several others, but for when you get 2 national awards for the same book, then there's something there that does hit the chord. I don't know if I told you this, but this is really interesting. Is 20 years ago, I won I had another book that won 2 awards for the same book, and it was also a Christmas book. So my 2 books that have won like big awards, I've gotten other accolades and other awards and stuff, but the really big awards are both Christmas stories, and I find that very interesting. You know, wow, you have to think
Well, I
about
don't
that.
find it interesting. That is your gift, your passion, your inspiration.
Yeah,
It's everything you do. It's what you stand for, right? So
yeah,
it absolutely does not surprise me. And you will have the information about where to get the books. Just read down below, you'll know.
yeah.
And I hope that you get, I mean, this would be a great gift. Your
Yeah,
Christmas gift.
this is a really good gift. If you order Magical Midnight off of my website, which is www.catherinelanigan.com, it's Catherine, Catherine, Lanigan, Lanigan.com. I personally autograph it. I'll send you some little bookmarks and some other fun things that go along with it, a little Christmas present, and I'll mail it right to you. So makes it really easy to order it from my website too.
Yes. And the book, the Angel Timelines, what's important about that is if a person
Yeah.
needs to feel hope right now, or
Yes.
they've lost a loved one and they're just wanting more comfort, they're wanting
Hmm.
faith. It's such a beautiful book of stories of people having experiences that are life-changing with angels.
Yes, absolutely.
And that,
And especially as you head into the holiday season, I think I probably need to say this. You know, there are, I realize how many friends I have now that have seasonal affective disorder. And that I was just saying to Judy before the show is, I'm up here in the north. I'm at the top of Indiana, almost to Michigan, and it's dark here. I mean, dark at 4:30. I mean, the last glimpses of the sunset are at 4:30, and by 4:35, it's dark. And when it gets that dark that early, there are a lot of people that do really head into depression, and so anything that can lift you out of that, to give you some hope, to give you some light, to give you just an escape, reading is very good for it. And it's not just my book, but other books too, but pick the ones that are not gonna, Halloween's over, we don't need any more scary stuff. We need happy things and hopeful things. I think it's another reason. I don't think I know because I heard this in a conference, but at Hallmark, for those that don't know, I have a Hallmark movie that's out there. And one of the reasons they start all those countdown to Christmas so early, because they started in October, is because people start heading into that seasonal affective disorder, and all of that plays into it. And it's I'll go home from work, it'll be dark, but I'll turn on and watch a Hallmark movie, Christmas movie, and I'll feel better. And it's true. You read a Christmas movie, a Christmas book, or see a Christmas movie, it really helps. It does.
It
So
does.
it's not too early. I had somebody come over to the house and she said, "Oh my God, you're decorating already?" And I said, "It takes me a month, to get all the decorations up." And I said, "No, my deadline is not Christmas. My deadline is Thanksgiving, because I have my first party is on the 22nd of November. So that's my first deadline. I won't have everything done by then. Then I have another deadline. I have 4 more parties between now and Christmas. So then I start cooking and baking and giving parties.
I'm gonna come visit you is all
I'm telling you, you need to come back. I mean, we're just like, we're on a roll here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm inventing all these new appetizers and stuff. I want to see what else can I do with puff pastry dough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I found
it
a lot
does
of stuff.
melt in your mouth.
I
Yeah.
have I have found a lot of really cool things. I went to a ladies gathering the other night with some neighbors that I had not met before. And so I just started inventing some stuff, and everybody loved it. And they said, "How did you make this?" And I said, "Ooh, I have to rewind. I didn't write it down." I just made it up. It was
Yeah, I
it
do
was
that all
really
the
good.
time.
It was really
Okay,
good.
we're being lighthearted right now. We're getting ready to jump into our show.
Yeah, we are.
Stay with us. I want you to breathe, take a deep breath. We're going to touch an area that we've never touched before. And these
Right.
are messages from the angels, you guys. And it is saving yourself, whether you're red or blue. We're going
Right.
to give you today a purple perspective, a high vibrational perspective. And we
Yeah.
both have encountered messages from the angels about being red and blue. And so, for some of you, you may be like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to dive into this. For some of you, you may want to stay stuck in your story. And that's
Right.
okay also. There's no judgment from us.
That's right.
There is no
That's right.
judgment. But whatever
That's
we
right.
create, the perspective we see is almost like an earth story,
Hmm.
and that is because we're living this earth experience, we're a spiritual being living in an earth experience.
That's right. That's
And it's
right.
all about love. So let's dive into saving yourself, whether you are red or blue.
Right.
And one of the things I am going to go ahead and read this, and
Okay.
it's quick. The elephant in the room is the USA election. Are you uncommonly anxious after the results were in, feeling lost, stunned, unsure of the future? There is a reason, and we will reveal the answers to you and what you can do to center yourself and deal with your anxiety and panic before it turns deeply toxic to your body and well-being. The anxiety and evidence in the last election, when Trump lost the election, this is 2020, many people were so upset, fearful of the future, and afraid that they were frozen. Some became ill, some worse. They died. They literally, I know a person who died of
Yeah, and I think
thinking,
you should tell that story,
yes, I
because
will.
yeah,
Don't
okay.
let this happen to you. If you're red, facing the vitriol from longtime friends is heartbreaking. Learn how to send the love and light to everyone. We all have God's spark. We're unity. We are all human beings first. So, with that, could you please share some of what you know and you've heard about, and then share some messages the angels have told you to help people that have anxiety and are stressed.
Okay. Um, and yes, I have many friends, because we're in the spiritual world, we have a lot of friends, both of us, you especially probably, who are healers. And they have their offices have been flooded with not just their clients, but other people that they're bringing, their friends that they're bringing in, because they are just in an absolute state of anxiety, not anxiety, severe anxiety, enough that the healers have been worried that they are going to develop an ulcer, that they could develop cancer. They have taken all of this to be their life, where that perspective alone, and that is what the angels are telling me, is this is not your life. Your life is in here. This is your life. This is your spark. This is where you are. All of that is an external situation. You are living in this world where that is. But for many of those that are in this kind of anxiety where it's that severe, or even if it's enough where you can't concentrate at work, or you can't or you're short with your family or anything else, that's too much. Those are red flags that that your thinking is wrong. You need to take that, it's so easy to say, is take that thinking cap off and then change your thinking. Well, it doesn't work that way. This is so pervasive. Part of it is because, and the angels have said this, the programming that has been going on for not just the last year, this has been going on since probably 2019, 2018, before the pandemic. We're still in trauma over the pandemic. We have listened to the government, who has told us we have to be in lockdown, we have to do this, and everybody followed. We all followed. We thought we were doing the right thing. We thought we were all the good kids. Then we followed again, but the bomb, as you and I have spoken before on our shows, the bombardment of the information that has come through has been programmed into everybody, to where we were told the Harris was going to win. I'm just going to have to use the names. We were told that Harris was going to win. There was no way, no way. And so many, obviously, so many people really believed it. But the point I'm trying to make is that in the process of all this bombardment, whether it's on your phone, your iPad, your television, it's you'll go to open your mail and there's all this, it's like any election year, but there was so much money spent on this election, $1 billion on the blue side. And my mailbox was full every day. I would go out and there's just stacks of stuff, So I'm being bombarded no matter what I do. I'll just go get my mail and see if my new Architectural Digest is here. And so there was so much. So now it's going to, you first of all, don't be hard on yourself. You were not the real creator of all this. There's been a lot of people trying to create all this for you. And you need to do all those things that are self-care. Fortunately, the ones that I have heard from, they have gone to a healer to help them, and whether it's a masseuse, an acupuncturist, a past life regressionist, someone that can just help you with relieving your stress in any way. Chiropractor, my chiropractor tells me all kinds of stories. It's unbelievable. But I mean, it's just everybody's keyed up. We're taking all this into our bodies. And that's what I want to discuss today, is this anxiety, this thinking. We don't want this to go into our bodies, where it winds up being part of our cellular structure, our muscular structure, or gets down into our organs, which is quite possible. So I want you to tell your story.
Yeah, so my story was back in 2020 at that election. And this was a person that was very right, very red, and felt that Trump was the savior. And just like the blue, I'm going to call you guys blue and red, okay? The blue
Yeah.
thinks that Harris or Biden was the savior, right?
Right.
We're going to lose something. And she was so, like about Trump. And so she blew it up that he was the savior, just like people have blown up about Harris being the savior. Forgetting
Right.
we're all just people, right?
Right.
And
Yeah. We're all human.
because then Trump didn't get elected and she was waiting for the med beds, and she had blown up in her mind that she was going to partake in whatever it was as a spiritual, woo-woo person. And she ended up in less than a year, developed cancer and died.
Exactly. And that's what we want to talk about today.
We really do, because when I would turn on something, or whether it was on a commercial, whether it was part of that campaign of the blue, everything I heard was scary. It
It
was
was
scary.
scary.
It didn't say hope. There was no hope in it. It was, you're going to take away my freedom. You're really dark and you're Hitler and I'm going to die. And all these things were going to happen. And that
Right.
programming that scares people to their core. There wasn't any truth in that. There
That's
wasn't
correct.
truth from the media saying it was going to be a blue sweep over. If people would have just listened and paid attention to the energy, you cannot have 100,000 people at a rally over and over and over again and not think it's not affecting people. And
Right.
and so you have to be more discernment. The other thing I'm going to say, and I may get people pissed off at me, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to be really blunt and honest.
Yeah.
In my world of healing as a healer, in my own personal life, if I am upset over another person of what they say and what I think they did, I am going to react because I've taken on that trauma. Like there's something they said that is in me I've never healed.
Right.
So I have no problem with blue or red because that isn't what my issues are. That, I've worked through so much
Right.
of my own stuff. So I don't get triggered by Trump at all. And
Right.
I don't get triggered by Harris. I might have a little bit with Biden, because of, in 2020, we were told we're going to dry up. We're not going to have any resources. All of our
Right.
freedom has been taken away. Well, that did not happen, right?
Right.
What happened is the cost of living went up. What happened was, the books, the financial books were so off. We were giving trillions of dollars away, and
Right.
things weren't set up for us as a country to be prosperous. And
Right.
and that's business 101. It was not done. So
Right.
I don't care if you want to argue with me, if you disagree, I don't really care. I'm here to give you a different perspective, and I hope I can help you heal. I'm not here to judge. I really am not. There's no one out there perfect. I do know how easy it is to get tripped up by what we hear, and how do we go back to our centeredness and not
Right.
take it on? Whether
Right.
it's quote conspiracy with red or conspiracy with blue, someone is pulling our chains and manipulating us. If you read anything that is unsettling for you, you've got to stop and say, is there truth in this?
Right.
Now,
Right.
I'm going to give
Exactly.
you, that's my wisdom of being in the healing modality for 30 years, helping people with trauma. 20 some years. I've been in the healing arts for 30 years, but helping people with trauma, going into their core issues and helping them release it just like that. Now,
That's right.
the message from the angels is this: the collective consciousness of our planet chose the president of the United States. The collective consciousness decided that what took place was whoever was best for the people. The people's heart spoke.
That's correct.
That is what Archangel Michael said. And so
Right.
there's no like, didn't care who it was going to be. It's a human 3D, 4D game, right? It's
Mhm.
not about enlightenment, but it's part of Earth, is part of our growth. And you and I know, if you're listening to this, usually we're not affected by all this stuff the government does. Come on. Sometimes we might be a little personal, but usually we just go live our life and be happy and grateful. That's what I experience. I don't have any problems. And so I can't imagine that you do either, right? So if the collective consciousness, which is you who's listening, then it was the heart of each person, not fear. The collective consciousness did not decide based on fear. That's not what love came through.
That's correct.
Love came through, not the fear of, oh my God, we're going to go da 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 da. I don't have any desire to even go there, but it's
Right.
fear, is that survival mode. So if you're a person who is stressed out to the max, you need to just spend some time breathing and ask yourself, does any of this make sense? If you shut us off right now, that's your choice, right? We're here to help you and to love you and to guide you, because there is so much help from the angels here for you. They're not deciding on red or blue because they're purple. They don't have a preference. When you're talking to angels and people that are higher in their spiritual path, they've done their work, then you become less judgmental and you
Right.
open up to more non-duality, meaning you're not coming from that survival energy of the humanness. And so every human being on this planet has an opportunity to go into their heart and to claim their innermost love and operate from love.
That is absolutely every word is true, and definitely straight from the angels. As you know, that the night of the election, we had a meditation, and we had 2 nights before we had 300 million angels come in. The next night we had 500 million, and the next night we had 1 billion angels that came in to Earth and came to help every single person to vote their heart, to talk to their heart, and for that heart to come out. What did they really feel? And to be in that place of love. And just as you said, it was not a vote from fear. It was a vote from love. And the other thing too that I wanted to really stress is that no one came in here to be a savior. Trump is not our savior. Harris is not our savior. Biden is not our savior. Do you know who your savior is? Your savior is yourself. And in that collective consciousness, for some of us, the Christ consciousness, if you're in that frequency, that Christ consciousness, that purity consciousness is out of your heart. When you feel that love in your heart, you're talking to your angels. Your angels are there. That's the highest realm, the celestial realm, until you're actually literally with the one source. And if that's happening, you're not here on earth anymore. Anyway, you have evolved. You're really out there. And you have done all of your work of all of your past lives and all the planets you've lived on and everything. But that is what the angel said, is we are not here to save you. You are the boots on the ground. We are here to guide you. We're here to help you. We're here to talk to you. We can go and talk to other people for you if we have permission from their highest self to help others to heal and to be all that you can be. I mean, human beings have so much love and so much passion and so much power. And we've been told for so long, and I'm not talking about the last 4 years, I'm talking about decades. For decades, almost all of my life, certainly all my life. And that's a long time. That's over 70 years. That we're nothing, that we're sinners, that we can't accomplish this, that we can't do that. Oh, you're just a person. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough talent. You don't have enough of this. You don't have enough. How many times you're not good enough. You're not enough. We've all been told those kinds of things. And it's not true, because that's not what God sees. That's not what the angels see. They see bright, beautiful, loving, happy, joyous souls that we're just trying to spring free and spread our love. And when we spread our love, we are just certainly doing God's work. But that's a big thing for those people that are going through this anxiety, is you can't give your power away to a politician. They're just a politician. They're not one source. They're not even an angel. Your power is within you. They are not a savior. You can save yourself. First you got to heal, and you start. I did a podcast yesterday and I said, we start with breathing. And she said, water is very, very important. When you are really in a state of anxiety and you get in a bathtub and you can soak for a while, or a shower, and you shower off all of that anxiety or the fear that somebody else put on you. You didn't say, oh, gee whiz, I want to go out there and get me some fear today. That's really a good thing. Boy, let's just go get all fear-filled and, let's really muck up our bodies. That's not what you do. That's put on you. Now, when you keep accepting it, that is what you have been doing, and we don't want to do that anymore. But that is really true. Breathing really helps you center yourself, so you can feel your heart, you can remember your heart and feel your heart. And there's more brains in your heart than is in your head. When you get out of your thinking in your head and you can think with your heart, and not just feel with your heart, but think with your heart, now you're really on the path to higher consciousness. You're really there. You're really getting it.
You really are. You are. And here's another example that just came through my mind that I would pay attention. I'm going to go back to the election.
Yeah.
That I found it very empowering listening to people on the quote red side, because they acknowledged that they had heard that if they were MAGA, then they were evil and they were Hitler and
Yeah.
they were going to die and doomed. And you talk about the power of over half of the country, more, 75% said
75%, 3/4 of the
I
country.
am not any of those things. And
That's
I
right.
basing my opinion on what is important to me, and that is safety, that is prosperity, and that's my family.
That's right. And that's my family.
And so I want you to pay attention, please. There again, you may not like it, but that's not what I was hearing on the blue side. It was it's going to be awful. We can't do this, da da da.
That's right.
Brought it up because that was the empowering thing that I heard. I thought, wow, that is really empowering. People took back their life and they took back their power for the country. They took back their power. Remember,
our power.
Saints. It's still the way we're working. The 3, 4th dimension, the 5th dimension. It's all anchored together.
That's right.
So that's all it is. So take another deep breath. I had to bring that up, Catherine, as another
example. No, I agree. But the other thing that I want for those that are truly, centered and cognizant is there is the angels. Now, this is one of the reasons I wrote Angel Timelines. We are in a new timeline. If you're listening to this podcast, you're in our new timeline, because this podcast does not exist in that other timeline. There is another one. I listened to a very, very knowledgeable psychic medium out of the United Kingdom the other night on a podcast, and she said there are so many timelines out there, but there were two big major ones that were kind of like the two biggest trains, going, and all the rest of them were, carts and horses and cars and all this. There's a lot of other timelines that you can choose, and you choose your timeline. Which one do you want? Do you want the one where you've got joy and peace and happiness and prosperity and a good life for your children and your grandchildren? I mean, my granddaughter is 26 years old, and we're hoping, she's going to get engaged maybe over Christmas. So we're kind of, like, we kind of hope for that. But, whether she does or not, I want this to be a wonderful world that she's in, that she gets to live in, and that she can bring up her children. Oh my God, that'd be my great grandchildren, right? Oh my God. I don't even really want to think about that, go there, but it's true. And please think about the things that you want in your timeline. You are making your future right now. Your thoughts, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, all of that creates your timeline. Every time you say, oh, I want a new car, if I could have any car I could have, I would like to have a new Cadillac SUV or a Mercedes. I'd like to. Think about it, envision it, see it in your driveway. You don't know, you could win that in a raffle or something at the church next Sunday. There are all kinds of ways that things can come to you.
There are. And just before we leave to part today, I want to remind people that we are in the Great Awakening. That's what we're
Yes,
doing.
we are.
Up. And we're waking up. And once you get angry and sad and go through whatever it is, every human being has the opportunity to have discernment
That's
and
right.
be neutral. And when you can become neutral in this new energy, then magic will happen for you. And that's what a true awakening is
That's right.
becoming neutral and not
Yeah.
allowing everyday stuff to upset you, let politics upset you, let the economy upset you, let whatever the issue is,
Yeah, whatever that is. Yeah.
whatever it is, we do have our points, right? Point of view.
Yep.
You get to the point where you just are neutral. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we're just living this experience. So this is very important to understand. We are in the Great Awakening, and we're going to continue for the next 2 years, if not longer, seeing major changes.
Major.
Major.
The angels have said this is just the beginning. There
It
are
is.
going to be, and also the veil is very, very thin right now, especially right now because we have a super moon and a blue moon tonight. And that veil is very thin. You will start seeing your angels come through. People will start seeing their angels. They're going to say, I can't believe it, what I saw. Yes, indeed. Personally, I'm waiting for Santa Claus.
I love it. I love it.
I've always believed that in some timeline and some dimension, there is a real Santa Claus, and I'm going to go find him.
well, he'll just go ho ho ho.
Oh.
I have a
Yeah.
little doll. Do you remember receiving this little doll when you were 5 years old? Dressed
Darn
in,
right. Her name was Susie.
yeah, I see her. I see the doll. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judy.
Do read down
Yeah.
below how to contact Catherine, her books. I do want to say I have a weekly meditation. It is a messages from the angels. It is meditation, it's healing. It's free, there's no cost. You can come. I do ask for you to sign up to it on a weekly basis so I know how many is coming to know, I just have to know. If no one's going to show up, then I'm not going to do it, right? But if a lot of people, the more the merrier. So it's an
That's
opportunity
right.
to get centered. We spend about 30 minutes to an hour together. It is on Friday at 12:30. However, there will be some Mondays. Mondays doesn't seem to be a day for me where there's any conflict, but sometimes Fridays there are. And I will send out emails. So I'm going to have the link down below that you can sign up for those and get notification so you can be a part of it. So with that, thank you very much. God bless you all.
God bless.